Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
Here tonight on QCTV Sports, we come to you from the Anoka High School Field House for non-conference and non-section and an inter-class matchup. 3A versus 4A tonight as the Anoka Tornadoes are hosting the Princeton Tigers along with Tim Anderson. I'm Jim Erickson. It is warm and it is unseasonable outside. Indoors, we're getting ready to kind of close out the volleyball season, Tim. These teams just have a few matches left before they get into section play.
Comes up so fast on us, doesn't it, Jim? It feels like we just started this thing not too long ago, and yet here we are talking section play coming up. And an interesting matchup for these two teams to meet this late in the season in this sort of non-conference way. And I would like to think that if you look back at the beginning of the season, they probably both circled this game and said, this is going to be a nice game for both of our teams, probably an evenly matched thing. But Anoka's a bit ahead of schedule. For Mary Patno, this is going to be a very interesting matchup tonight, and this is the lineup she's going to send out to start things off. Do you want to read this one,
Well, I was going to say
the honor is yours.
The Princeton Tigers 7-14, 1-4 in the Mississippi 8 Conference. You can see Gabby Ruzick, Paige Lavat, Julia Slipey, Sierra Christopher, Danny Wojtaszek, and Brianna Jordan, your starting six here for Mary Patno. She's in her 10th year leading the Princeton Tigers. She coached from 2010 to 2018, then stepped down and then came back this year, and is quite an interesting story that we can get into a little bit later here in our broadcast. That was the starting lineup for the Princeton Tigers, and now here the Anoka Tornadoes with Chris Fenwick. And Chris Fenwick was telling me earlier, Tim, that they've had a good season. It's for the first time in a few years they're above 500. In fact, they've matched last year's win total when they were 11-16.
They're young, but they're ahead of schedule. They've got size at the net for the first time in really a few years, and that's led by freshman Hayden Reeder, one of the outside hitters, number one. Keep an eye on her tonight. Allie Tanner, who will play all over the court. She's a big she'll serve for them. She'll play up front. Abby Leaf is one who I was really impressed with this season. She's having a terrific year, the junior. And Sadie Liram, Carmen Shimmick, and Logan Brent round out the starting lineup. Obviously, both teams will use a libero. And the libero tonight for the Anoka Tornadoes is Maddie Gibson. Libero on the other side for the Princeton Tigers tonight, if I remember right.
Brianna Jordan.
Who will just go ahead and start things off. They're not going to mess around.
No. Anoka 3-3 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. They are in the white uniforms. The court to the right here in your video screen, where you may be watching us here online or maybe in the comfort of your living room here on this Wednesday night. Wednesday night, there have been more Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday football games primarily because, and it's sad to say, lack of officials.
Has a little bit of a shortage everywhere, right? The Great Resignation goes across the board, and unfortunately we got a few of them in the world of officiating, and hopefully we can get back to getting a nice big crop of new officials very, very soon. And I think we're on our way to that eventually. People don't want to repeat it.
Carmen Shimmick will start it out here for Anoka. Princeton will tap it over. Shimmick there to set. Back set here near side. Fire to the back row. And it's a kill for Logan Brent. Good start here for Anoka. 1-0.
I love Logan Brent. I'll tell you what, it's not that she has that size that her teammates do, but she can jump out of the gym. What an athlete. Super impressive to watch her.
Here's the junior Carmen Shimmick. Setter. Of course, they play that 62. That one's going to go out of bounds, far side into the Anoka bench, and quickly the Tornadoes up 2-0.
That's what they're going to need. They're going to need to get some points on serve. I don't see them ever going on long rallies, so a good one to start would be good.
Right side for the Princeton Tigers, and a drive and a kill delivered there by Gabby Ruzick, the right side hitter, the junior. This Princeton team, according to Coach Mary Patno, basically an all-new team. They graduated a ton of players last year, and basically all new players making the move to varsity this year for a Princeton team.
That's what I mean by both teams, I think, are thinking this was going to be a really evenly matched game, and I think Anoka's just a bit ahead of schedule on Princeton right now, but this Princeton team's young, and there's talent all over the floor.
Gabby Ruzick, left-hand serve, little top spin. They'll get it to Shimmick on the set to the far side for Brent down the line, but out. And we're tied at 2.
That's where Brent, I think, maybe got a little bit of an early release on that one, trying to get that to swat straight down. Couldn't do it. Ended up sailing.
Here's that Princeton serve, almost an ace. Anoka did keep it up off the ground for one hit, but not for a second one. Good attempt there by Anoka's Sadie Lirum. Now 3-2. That one's in the net. So an ace or a net serve, service error, and that'll side it out over to Anoka, tied at 3.
Kind of like that for Princeton, though, to get the left-handed server Ruzek going early on, getting a couple quick points on serve. You don't want to lose your service rally that way, but all in all, a good start for Princeton.
3-3 start in the middle. Ruzek puts it high, up and over by Blavitt. Now the set to the far side. Here comes Hayden Reeder, just a freshman. Strong freshman here for Anoka, seeing some time. There was a time you couldn't play freshman at Anoka Hennepin, and this one's going to be driven cross court and in. It's a point and a kill here for Anoka.
Well, when you have Hayden Reeder, you play freshman. She's a real talent. And again, it's because she can match up with everybody at the net.
Serving it is Allie Tanner. Nice save by Princeton. They get it back in the middle. Free ball over by Slipey. Quick set, Shimmick, and then they drive it down. Good timing there at the net, and another one here for Anoka.
Yeah, Sadie Lirum right there, able to swat that down at the front of the net in the middle position.
Good mix of juniors, seniors, and a freshman here in the lineup for Anoka. Left to right serve, Allie Tanner again. Played towards the middle. Great save by Ruzek. It's over free ball, but the fact Princeton got it over was very good. Brent over. Dug out by Jordan, the libero. Set up now by Shimmick to the left side. Down the line by Reeder. Dug out. Princeton with a chance to play it over. Slipey will have to do it free ball. And the set for Brent. Back over to Reeder again. This time she found the seam and she nailed it down that far sideline.
And that's the thing you look at when you talk about freshmen. Normally when you watch a freshman play at the varsity level, you think, there's still things they got to learn, right? The game's too fast. That's not the case with Hayden Reeder at all. It's like she is a veteran with young shoulders and a big overhand.
Allie Tanner with Toshik to the net. Here's the set for Blavitt. Scramble on the back row. They keep it alive. Free ball. Lirum with her back to the net. And then tipped around, fight at the knee, at the net. It's played over. The libero able to play it again. Another free ball. Here's the set, far side Brent, and cross court this time Reeder. That time she missed. Trying to mix it up is Reeder. She went down the sideline, right along her line last time. That time she went cross court, but missed.
And that's what I mean. Like she sees the game, I think, really well for a freshman, and I think that's the right move. She was just off with that one.
Sophomore Paige Blavitt here with the set, and it came over free ball in the first hit. And I think Slipey from Princeton thought she was going to have an easy dunk and just didn't quite time it and make the contact she wanted. She was a little bit surprised. That'll give it back here to the Tornadoes with Lirum back to serve.
And when you go Abby, Leaf, Reeder, and Brent up on front here, this is a great chance for a long service rally for the Tornadoes.
Wow, that looked like it was going to be an ace. Good scramble there by Princeton to keep it alive. The bat set, near side, Brent swings and drives it down. Logan Brent with the kill. Serve stays here with Anoka. They've doubled up Princeton 8-4.
Sadie Lirum looking for a long service game for the Tornadoes, and this is a great matchup for them on the floor.
Lirum again. Little side arm, little side spin. It hits that net. No chance for the Tigers to get to it. Good attempt by Watashik, but it's an ace.
The members bounce for Sadie Lirum. Those are so tough to deal with. Good effort from Watashik.
Lirum again. Here's the senior. Goes short serve this time inside the attack line. Getting an arm on it was Slipey, but that was it. Another ace. And right now, Lirum's really mixing up her serves.
Yeah, that was like the old drop ball, right?
Yeah.
In softball, that was perfect, just over the net.
Lirum again, this time to the far side. Slipey will get the set return, goes cross court, and some back row miscommunication there for Anoka, and it lands in. Princeton will get the side out and end a lengthy little run there by Anoka.
Hey, any way you can for the Princeton Tigers, you will take that. And here's Julia Slipey, who will go on serve now, looking to get the Tigers rolling.
One of the seniors on this team, little top spin on that. Shimmick will back set to the near side. Big swing. Brent dug out, but it's going to be out of control and out of bounds. Unplayable for the Tigers. Side out point, Anoka.
And I'm pretty sure Chris Fenwick would admit this if we talked to him, but that was the missing piece for the last couple of years with Anoka. The ability to be really aggressive at the net and just end points quickly.
Brent serve. Slipey. Set Ruzick. Right side drive, and it missed. Point, Anoka.
And Brent will keep serving for the Tornadoes.
Team captain, Logan Brent. Steered to the middle. Blavitt. Then it's Slipey. And over free ball. Anoka chance to set up. The pass was at the net. It'll be a point. Princeton reaching over the net. Anoka. So violation there. Unforced error. That'll go over to Princeton now, 12-6.
Yeah, this is a good chance now for Princeton. They've just got to weather this storm. It's clear right now they don't really match up at the net with Anoka, so they've got to try to get this done on serve with some different service games, mixing it up, playing to the back line, and being aggressive.
Almost a miss hit there, but good recovery by Reeder over to Shimmick. Now it's back on the Princeton side. Double block. Anoka throws it right back at the Tigers. Now a back set on the far side. Ruzick with that left hand is off of Anoka and out of bounds. Princeton point.
And I like the idea of setting for Ruzick right there as we take another look at this. Giving the lefty a different arm angle, something different to look at. It's a bit of an adjustment for Hayden Reeder.
Sophomore setter Sierra Christopher with the serve. That was, nice. Well,
it's a lift.
I thought it is a lift or a double hit.
Double hit.
Double hit. On Logan Brent, I thought she adjusted really well because that ball would look like it was heading to the net. She elevated to keep it from going into the net, but that also threw off her timing with that double hit.
Now they go left-handed jump serve again.
Anoka on their side, driven over, steered to the middle by Slipey, and they'll set it up here. It's up and over by Wempner. There's number 18 for Princeton, drive at the net. Oh, nice save, but it's not going to make it over. Julia Slipey showing her ability to go down and dig, but Anoka will end up getting the ball here, and with the serve, they lead it 13-8.
And they'll bring in Samara Love here on the back line with those rotations, giving Samara a chance to serve, and also Josie Brown checking in for the Tornadoes as now Chris Fenwick mixes things up.
Shimmick sits down. The serve by Love. Set Christopher to the near side, have to be punched over by Ruzick. Far side, Tanner in the middle and down.
Love it. Everybody's contributing for the Tornadoes here in set number one. You're seeing Tanner get involved, Reeder get involved, Brent getting involved. Coming from all the angles, too. That's what's really the big key for the Tornadoes. It's been hard to game plan for Princeton.
Love back row. Princeton allows it to go. Good call there, and they'll get the side out in the serve. Down by 5.
And that's pretty smart by Princeton. They got to steal those points wherever they can. Take advantage of those service errors and see if you can get a couple points on serve here.
Here's libero Brianna Jordan trying to serve one short. Set up here. Left-hand drive over by the Tornadoes. Set back up. Wempner to the back row. Passed ahead Love. And then back in the middle, Tanner. Free ball over to the Tigers. Chance for them to set up. Christopher with the set. Quick set in the middle. Pushed over a couple of times by Paige Blavitt. Back to the Tornadoes. There's a tip over. Going up high was Abby Leap. Then it's back in the middle again. Blavitt swats at it. Good rally here. Back and forth. That one's going to be out. Little too much mustard and lift and air underneath that one from Samara Love. And the Tigers have a couple of points here back to back.
Yeah, nice job there by Princeton, staying with it, just getting it over, giving them some chances, keeping the ball alive.
Jordan again. Pass to Brent. Brent set up, tip, Tanner, and down. Nice little job by Allie Tanner. Throws the changeup at him. And it's down for a point here in a side-out serve, Anoka.
Yeah, both last couple of points here for both sides. Not really getting a chance to really get a clean set for a point. A lot of times just bumping them over and trying to use some soft touch.
Gibson serves. Wempner the set near side into the block by Blavitt. Right back to the Tornadoes now. Here's their back set. And digging it out in the back row, Jordan. Now to the attack line over Wempner, and it's off the attempted block by Anoka and down. Point Princeton, right back to them. The Tigers have won 5 of their last 6 matches. So they have played well here as of late, including success up at the Duluth East tournament. Lost to North Branch, but they've won their last 2 over Big Lake in 3 and over St. Cloud Apollo on Monday in 4.
And they're hanging around as Watashik's on serve.
Here is that serve, set up far side. Tanner comes across. That overhand dig by Watashik. And the pass and the tip over. Anoka looking for it. That one was up in the rafters, and they lost track of it. Point again here for Princeton. They're within 3.
Bad bump there from Samara Love as she had to kind of run up on it to try to keep it alive. It bumped backwards, and nobody was home for it.
Danny Watashik ready. Backup defensive specialist and libero. You're now playing in the back row, but a service error there in the net stays on their side. That'll give it to the Anoka Tornadoes.
And that's where you don't want to do that. If Anoka can kill a point, that's fine, but you don't want to be giving them away, especially after just 1 point on the service game. You want to try to have opportunities.
Here's the Shimmick serve. Played by Watashik, set up far side. Who's going to get to it? And Princeton's in the net. So a mix-up at the net. Anoka getting the point, and they'll get the serve here with Shimmick going back to do it again.
Yeah, looks like they got Blavit into the net that time.
Floater, knuckler, sometimes hard to handle. Set up for Slipey, through the block and down. Good, powerful drive and kill there by Julia Slipey for Princeton.
And again, it's just they're hanging around here, are the Princeton Tigers. Down 17-13, but you just feel like they're one good service game away from putting themselves into this thing. Maybe try to steal this from the Tornadoes.
Here comes the Princeton serve. Back set, strong drive to the net, dug out by Ruzick for Princeton, but nobody at the net to recover.
So difficult to play that one off the net. Nice job by Ruzick to dig it up. Problem is, yeah, you're right, it had to go right off the net, and you have to play that. It's so difficult for the front line to time that out.
Megan Kloss is into the game now for Princeton. Serve, low. Ruzick sets up, tipped over by the aforementioned Kloss, who just came in, just a freshman, and then to the back row. And the diving attempt, no save there, Anoka point.
Speaking of freshmen, that's Hayden Reeder as they set to the outside. Look at that high bump set, giving an opportunity for Reeder to just climb the ladder and go get it. That gets a timeout here.
Timeout, 19-13 here. Anoka has the lead. Tornadoes having won 2 of their last 3. They defeated Chisago Lakes last Monday in 3. Really battled Maple Grove on Thursday of last week right here at Anoka in a 5-set battle. And then defeated Robbinsdale Armstrong on Monday 3-1. Tornadoes are 11-8 on the season, 3-3 in the conference.
Yeah, you know, they kind of, they really hit their stride in the middle. And when I talked to a few of the players earlier this week and last week, they circled some games and just said, you know, we needed some confidence boosters. We needed to play a couple of the really strong teams well to feel like we belonged at that level, that we could compete. And they were getting those answers. You know, that 4-set loss to Andover, I think, proved a lot to them. They were able, even in a loss, to take something out of that and say, yeah, we can hang. We can hang with some of the best teams in this conference.
During timeouts, you're going to see the assistants talk to the players more than Coach Chris Fenwick. He's had a bit of a head cold, and he can't talk much. So the communication is going to be a little bit different. I asked him if he knew sign language or, you know, you're going to do signs, a little like a third base coach in baseball. Nice ace serve there by Allie Tanner, 20-13. First team to 20, the Anoka Tornadoes. This one set up again for Kloss. Dug out, Anoka will go over to Hayden Reeder off the block. But it sneaks between that block and the net and down on the Princeton side. And it's 21 on the board now for the Tornadoes.
Thing is, you wouldn't know if Chris Fenwick was sick, healthy, happy, sad. He's pretty low-key on the bench. We've talked about that.
You are correct. Tanner, overhand pass. They'll go right back to Kloss. The freshman plays it over free ball. That would have been close to being the line. They played it. Quoque down. And Anoka gets another point.
Yeah, bringing in one of the senior captains late in this first set, going with Arthur Line Quoque to come in and play on the front line, and that time setting up for Hayden Reeder on the far side. Worked out perfectly, and now 3 points away from set 1.
22-13, Anoka. Tanner, the serve, steered to the middle. Aaliyah Zahner in there now for Princeton, then up and over Slipey. Middle set, tipped over Laram, blocked right back. Reeder digs it out, comes back to the Tigers. Jordan In the middle, off the block, saved and then swatted over. Was it Reeder who got a hand on it? It's either Reeder or it was Lirum. One of those two swatted a free ball. Good anticipation, great hand-eye coordination, and it's 23-13.
Yeah, we were just at 17-13 a few minutes ago, but a 6-point run for the Tornadoes have put this thing in command, just 2 points away from set number 1. Very impressive. As you can see, a pink out tonight in the student section. And, really a heads up, props to the student section. They've drawn well here this year.
Nice.
Students really liking to come to the volleyball games. Are the bleacher captains at Anoka have done a fine job. They have attended the sporting events well this year, and I think that's certainly helped a lot of the teams. Boys soccer's having a pretty decent season. They have enjoyed some nice support, volleyball team, football team.
And, of course, the teams deserve that, and it's nice to see that support. And I'm sure the players really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, there have been some great atmospheres, not just here, but when you go, at Andover game was a great atmosphere. They've traveled well this year, playing at Blaine, playing at Coon Rapids. It has been good crowds every time they've gone out.
Okay, 2 away here for Anoka for the first set win. Tanner serves it, set up by Ruzic, and that'll be an illegal hit. Double hit on the set, and now game point or set point.
I will say Princeton, though, has one of my favorite gyms within 50, 60 miles.
I've
love
been there
their new
many
gym.
times.
Love their new gym. It's so nice.
Here's a back serve, and it's going to miss wide.
Such a fun place to watch a basketball game or a volleyball game.
I don't know if I've ever been to their new one. I've been to the old one.
Yeah, the old one. The new one.
Is the new one at the middle school or at the high school?
No, it's at the high school, but it's kind of in that new wing.
I knew they did an addition.
It's in, that nice new addition over there at Princeton, where if you haven't been there, it's pretty nice.
I used to call a lot of Princeton games on the radio. There's another double hit, and on set point, that'll give set 1 here to the Anoka Tornadoes. So a good start here for Anoka, 25-14. They win set 1, set 2. Coming up next, of course, from Anoka High School on QCTV Sports.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Hey, Bobo. Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Jim Erickson and Tim Anderson back here getting set for the second set at the Anoka High School Fieldhouse. Princeton in the white, maroon with the black numerals here tonight for the Anoka Tornadoes.
If you're Princeton, I think after set one, you kind of got, I mean, you hung for a little while, but then at the end it kind of got away from you. What you want to do here is try to get off to a fast start on your service game. Try to get 3, 4, 5 quick points. See if you can put Anoka into a little bit of a hole early on and make them come chase you. What you don't want to do is give it up quickly on the service game and end up chasing Anoka. You don't want that.
Ruzick serves to start it out here for Princeton. Anoka sets up Brent, and it's in.
Exactly what we said we didn't want to do right there if you're the Princeton Tigers. You didn't want to give up the service game so quickly, because now you turn it over to Allie Tanner, who's one of the better servers on the team for Anoka.
Here's the Tanner delivery. Goes to the back row, passed ahead. Zahner starting the second set out there for Princeton. Set by Shimmick, far side Reeder, but she missed.
But that's textbook what Anoka wants to do, right? You want to set to the outside, give a chance for Reeder or give a chance for Brent on the near side or whatever you want to do. They had the look that they wanted. They just didn't execute.
Reeder, one of the top freshmen in the area. She's got a long career ahead of her. There she is this time. Yeah, she mixed it up. She'll go down the line, and then she'll go cross court, and that one she nailed. After missing the last one, she gets the kill there, 2-1 Tornado.
And not everybody has the ability to hang in the air long enough where you can vary things up like that. She sees the floor so well, and she can just hang in the air.
Kendall Finnis is in now, the senior. Gets the call here to serve. Slaps it over, dug out nicely by Jordan, the libero, here to the near side tip, but it's blocked. And it comes back here, scramble, and it'll be down on the Princeton side. It's Melgren on the attempt to try and save it, 3-1 Anoka.
Yeah, Abby Leaf, who was pretty quiet in that first set there, comes up big with the nice block. A little help from Logan Brent.
Leaf, very good length in the middle of that net here. That'll be a net serve. Didn't quite get it over. Kendall Finnis with the service air. Sided out over to Princeton.
Yeah, you got to ride it out if you're Princeton. Try to get on a little bit of a run. But Princeton's dealing with a little bit of the challenges that Anoka had dealt with the last couple of years, where the size of the net just isn't able to get up and over the opposition.
Yeah, Anoka definitely the size and length and height advantage at the net in this one here tonight. Pushed over by Princeton. Anoka a chance to set up. They'll go over to Reeder. Her tip is kept alive by Princeton. They play it over on the second hit. Reeder has to. The timing on that quick set in the middle wasn't quite what they wanted to. Reeder had to tip it over. It was a great response, and Anoka ends up getting a point out of it.
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly how you drew it up, but they'll take it. It worked for them. And now they serve up 4-2 with Logan Brent.
Yeah, Brent back. Goes middle back. Slipey. Push to the middle. Lob it, and then driven over Wempner. Good save into the net by Brent. Kept it alive, and Anoka will get a point out of that.
Yeah, and even just that little bit right there kind of threw Princeton off. It forced Slipey to have to go back and try to bump that from the back line, but that throws off the rotation and the spacing for the Princeton Tigers, and they weren't able to get to that.
Brent again, left to right, goes deep. This one's going to be tough. It's going to be off the Star-Spangled Banner. It's rattling around, and they got it over. All of those balls were playable. Great adjustments there by the Tigers, and they're going to get a point out of it as Josie Brown hits it long at the net.
Maybe the most improbable point of the night right there, Jim. That thing did go off of everything.
It almost went into the basket, and then they played it over free ball and got the point out of it. 5-3, they serve.
Who says Plinko wasn't a fun game on The Price is Right?
Exactly.
You know?
If it's playable, you play it. Played over free ball, Ruzick. Back over Anoka. Setting it up, Christopher. Back here near side, the big swing by Wempner gets blocked. And it's a point, Anoka.
Might have been Leaf again. Leaf and Brent over at that side, but I think it was Leaf who got to it. And again, that's her just being the factor that she needs to be at this stage. Here comes Samara Love as Reeder will sit as they make the backline rotation.
And Love serve. Little side spin on that in the middle. The set by Christopher to the near side. Left-hand swing. Ruzick blocked back at him. This time from the attack line into the net. Slipey didn't get enough. Tried that little roll shot with the hand. And it came up short, 7-3. Anoka holds on with the Love serving again.
Yeah, they're having a tough time getting it around Abby Leaf, Josie Brown. Having a very difficult time of the Tigers, just finding an opening in an alley to try to drop that ball in there.
Love again, Slipey back to Love. We'll have to play it over free ball. Love, left side, Boquay, nice dig by Slipey. And it's over for Princeton. Setting it up as Brent, back set, left-hand drive, dugout back row, Jordan. And a couple of contacts at the net, end up gonna go to Princeton. We had an Anoka player in the net.
Yeah, Josie didn't think that was her, but she got called for into the net, doesn't like it. But 7-4 Princeton. So here's what you got to do if you're Princeton. You can't battle at the net, so you got to find good places to drop those little finesse balls in.
Jordan serving, almost a save. It went over, almost an ace, and it went over on one. And then in the middle, Abby Leaf with a big swing, and she finds the line.
Definitely
Actually, point Princeton, it was out of bounds.
Take advantage of those little errors by the Anoka Tornadoes, but also, yeah, just try to find little alleys where you can just dump the ball in, reroute, little misdirection. Got to do a lot of different stuff here if you're Princeton.
Princeton within two, a couple of good serves here. Brianna Jordan has been serving them short, and that has gotten Anoka off balance a little bit here, and they haven't been able to return at 7-6.
And the Tornadoes right now just want to kill every ball over the net as hard as they can, and in doing that, they've been hitting it long and hitting it out of bounds. Jordan
serving again. Brent serves up left side. There's Kokway, and she's able to find seam and an opening on the Princeton defense. 8-6, Anoka serve.
Yeah, right on cue. Arthur Line chooses to not try to pound that thing. Instead, opts to kind of direct it in there, finesse it in there, get the kill. Nice job there.
Madeline Gibson serving low, libero to libero, and Jordan, the defensive specialist libero for Princeton, couldn't get low enough. It's an ace.
And this is where Anoka's going to look to try to pull away, see if they can get 2, 3, 4 points on the service game.
Junior Gibson again. Tigers set up in the middle, Ruzick, and it's out. Point Anoka. Volleyball's a game of runs. If you can manage a few runs and hold the other team from not having as long of runs, basically.
That's pretty much it.
Momentum. Long set.
Nature of rally scoring.
I'm old enough, I used to call matches when there wasn't rally scoring.
As do I.
Played up to 15, and you only scored when you served.
I remember those. I remember those well. And you try to figure out what I like. I think I like this better, but there is certainly room for both sides. But I think the rally scoring has made it more interesting, certainly.
Gibson with a serve into the net. That'll get it over to Princeton. We mentioned Princeton's Mary Padno in her 10th year. She went 9 years. She took the job in 2010. And the team had won a bunch of matches in a row, or lost a bunch of matches in a row. At one point during her career, she lost 33, the first 33 matches of her career, but she stuck with it. And they finally started winning, and then they had a 19-9 season in 2016. So she really resurrected this Princeton program.
More importantly,
back 6-7 years ago.
They stuck with her, right? She stuck with it, but they stuck with her, and that's so. I feel like it's kind of a lost thing in all sports, but even in high school sports, people get impatient. Coaches get impatient, sure, but so do players, so do parents, so do administrators.
She's a Princeton grad, and at one point the program had lost 62 matches in a row. At the net, out, it's close. Point Princeton.
I think Coach Patno challenged that line judge back there to get that call in there, lobbied for it and got it.
She was right along the line as Gabby Ruzick ready with her left-hand serve. Just barely over the net, and that drops down like a fork ball, and it's an ace.
Yeah, you need some of that if you're Princeton, if you're Gabby Ruzick. Just go ahead and get yourself a few of these on serve, even some quick, easy points, whatever you can do to trim into this lead and get some just get some easy points, some effortless points.
Starters in rotation for Princeton, a real mix of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Ruzick serving again. The quick set by Shimmick. And then in the middle, the big pound. It comes back over to Princeton. Now to Anoka off a 2. And they'll serve it up to Quoquay. After it, Ruzick from behind the Attack line, Slipey. Again, Shimmick, left side, over Quoque. It was tipped.
Oh, no.
What's going to happen here? Point Anoka.
They have a deflection there is what they're calling. Tipped at the net. Coach Mary Patnode kind of looking at that back judge for this game. And
I don't know if it did.
yeah, I don't know if it did either.
Close call.
Anoka gets the point, and they'll get back on serve with Tanner.
Allie Tanner serving 13-9 here in set 2. Anoka won the first set 25-14. To the net, punched over nicely by Slipey to keep it alive. Madeline Frecking is into the game now, and she set it up, and then a big pound.
See if we can take a look at this last play again, Jim, and just see if we can see some. Well, there's definitely no touch there, not even close.
No,
I mean,
you can see how much higher that ball is. If it was tipped or touched in the back row, because 2 players did go for it.
Yeah.
Jordan to the net, scrambling the Tigers. Slipey gets it over. Frecking sets up. Here comes Reeder. Block back at him. That'll be 4 hits. It hit the net and came right back at him. No block there. Nothing Anoka could do about that. 14-10.
That's a big kill right there for Princeton. Need to, stay doing exactly what they did in set 1, Jim. They just kind of hanging around here.
Net serve, free ball, dunked, back over to Princeton, scrambling, and somehow Anoka gets a point out of that.
That thing just danced on the top of the net there, and Princeton just got out of position. I think they dove too early, thinking it was going to drop at a certain time, and then it just kind of hung on the tape.
Madison Hunter had come into the match. She has sat down as Kendall Thinnis comes in once again to serve. 15-10, Anoka up a set. Scrambling a little bit was Ruzick. They're able to find it, push it over. Set by Shimmick in the middle. Big drive by Abby Leaf. Really got up and put some power in that. That was off a tip and a point Anoka.
And not a whole lot there for Aaliyah Zahner on that one. Came right at her. And she was in position, but it kind of rose up onto her shoulder. Not able to dig it out.
Explosive in the middle, I would call Abby Leaf there, because she really got up quickly and with some power. Thinnis serving down the near sideline. That's going to miss, out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't know if Abby redirects quite like Hayden Reeder does, but at the middle of the net, she's just a powerhouse.
Allison Wempner comes back in, checks in for Princeton as they serve right to left here, down 16-11. Shimmick on the set, back set, near side, big swing, Frecking gets blocked back here to the Tornadoes. Back row attack, and that will be a point.
There's just so much more weaponry at Chris Fenwick's disposal this season. And I do feel like they're deeper than they have been. You can see in the rotations,
yes,
moving people in and out, a lot of folks contributing. Princeton not able to rotate in and out as many different pieces.
They've played 7 other girls, I count here amongst this. You look at their 6 starters, 7 other girls have rotated in. That's some depth. Here's a set by Ruzick to the near side. Wempner had a block back at her. They dig it out. Jordan with a chance in the middle, sets up Ruzick. Anoka scrambling to keep it alive. They feed it to Leaf. That's dug out. Steered back in the middle by Wempner. Then Ruzick sends it over. There's Brent with a set to the left side. It's Reeder, but she missed, went long.
Just long, not by a lot. But the thing that's interesting is we talk about the depth. They're depth, but they're in specific areas, right? It's not like you have anybody who plays both ways or stays on the floor the whole time, not like an Avery Bowles at Andover. Instead, you got people who are like, hey, we got servers, we got blockers, we got frontline players, liberos, everything.
Christopher serving for Princeton, and Anoka scrambling but can't recover on their end. Point Princeton, back to within 4.
That's what Princeton's got to do, is try to hit it where they ain't. Try to find some soft spots.
Sierra Christopher, the jump serve. Set by Brent, middle, big swing. That's Ella Leaf, the freshman. You got Ella and then Abby. And they both are, even as a freshman, Ella's really long in the middle here too.
Yeah, they have found the height through, maybe they've changed the drinking water or something, but the thing that's been missing for the last 3-4 seasons is just size. And now they have size and athleticism for days. Oh, The officiating crew maybe having a quick word for our crew in the pink.
Yeah, I'm not sure if something ended up on the floor or they came out of the.
Well,
she was talking to the camera.
That's Sawyer Shell, a football player. What a troublemaker. I'm just kidding.
You have these kids in class, so you're able to say that, right?
I can say that.
Yes.
Out of love for Sawyer. He's a good kid.
Speaking of love, Samara Love serving. Set, middle, Wempner, dug out, Anoka to the net. They got to try and dig it out of the net, and Brent did just that. Here's a pass error. Just a missed pass there by Slipey, went underneath the net. Anoka gets a point, up by 6. They're now 1 away from being that team getting first to 20, and Coach Patno to the Tigers wants to call a timeout.
Yeah, this is the exact same spot we were in set 1, Jim, where we were 17-13 or so, and then all of a sudden a little surge, a little flurry late from the Tornadoes, and they were able to stretch the lead out. And that's what Coach Mary Patno's concerned about right here. That's why she's calling this timeout, down 19-13, see if she can stem the tide here late in set number 2.
Northwest Suburban Conference standings. Big conference, a lot of teams. Maple Grove's up there, and again, Anoka just last week took Maple Grove to 5 sets in a conference match.
Yeah, it's kind of a stark drop-off after Elk River. You got a lot of solid teams there on the front half. Osseo, Spring Lake Park, Totino having a tough season. Armstrong, which was once just a factory, is in kind of rebuild mode right now.
And look at Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers, fantastic.
Relatively new member of the Northwest Suburban Conference.
That Andover team is really strong. Obviously, Champlin's always a factor.
Love another serve. It'll be an ace. Making things hard on the serve, receive, and the passing here for Princeton.
It's almost like Love is a bit of a closer for Chris Fenwick. Coming in late along with Arthur Line Quokwe, Josie Brown, letting those veterans come in late in these sets to try to finish things off.
She's kind of like his Mariano Rivera.
You could argue.
Samara Love again serving it. Jordan, pass, set, Ruzick, cross court. Tornadoes ready for it. Finnis, and on the near side, the swing by Josie Brown. Missed the cross court. And Princeton getting a serve back here, and they need a run down by 6.
I think Edwin Diaz is the closer of choice now because he's got the cool entrance music.
Yes.
You have
and
to
he's
remember
with the
that.
Mets, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice serve.
Jordan serve dropped. Oh, they kept it alive, but no. Net making contact with the net was Quokwe. They did all they could. That was an outstanding save.
Well, I'll tell you, if Jordan could serve like that every time, keep doing it. That little Ephus pitch right there just dropped off the table. Nothing they could do with that. That was fantastic.
2015, another one. They have to quickly get to it at the attack line, the 10-foot line. Played over free ball by Anoka. Jordan, here's the set in the middle, and they'll force it through. Caitlin Herman. Well, that's number 8. That's Paige Blavitt with the kill in the middle, and now Anoka calls a timeout as Princeton has cut it to within 4.
Yeah, 3 straight points for Princeton, and they did exactly what Coach Mary Patno wanted right there. Get the kill, quickly stem the tide, get yourself back in the game. Rankings time in Class 4A, Jim.
Class 4A. Champlin Park is up there. Wayzata's awfully good. They're in the same section. That could be a battle again as it was last year. Wayzata winning the section championship. Rogers is ranked in there as well. You saw them in the Northwest Suburban Conference standings.
Some usual suspects and maybe some different suspects in there as well.
Yeah, Northfield, the defending champs from last year, they're still in there.
What's interesting is Egan at 8-8, still hanging in those top 10 rankings, but it's because they play a pretty tough schedule,
Yeah.
and I think everybody knows you don't want to have to deal with them late in the season if you can avoid it.
Brianna Jordan set to serve here for Princeton following the Anoka timeout. Another nice low serve. Tornadoes able to recover from it. Quokwe over. Then the set by Christopher in the middle, swept over. Brown in the middle, punched over Ella Leaf. Back to Anoka again, and Anoka's going to be called in the net.
Okay, so a couple of quick violations. Couple of unforced errors for the Tornadoes, and all of a sudden we've cut the deficit here. Nice job by the Tigers and Brianna Jordan on serve.
Jordan again. Nice little service run. Set by Brent. Near side back set. Over by Ella Leaf. Now it's Ruzek through a block and another point for Princeton.
And I wonder here, and they've caught the Tornadoes in a pretty favorable matchup here at the front line. You don't have Leaf on the floor at the front. You don't have Reeder at the front. She's on the back line with this rotation. This is not a bad setup for the Princeton Tigers.
Jordan comes in again to that attack line, played by Tanner into the net, 4 hits. And right now Princeton has Anoka out of sorts, and they've got it to within 2 here. Anoka got to 20, and now it's 20-19.
Yeah, I think they want to kill here in the worst way, so maybe they would see some quick substitutions.
Jordan goes to the back row to mix it up. Passed ahead Finnis to the far side off the net. Never made it over on the attack by Tanner, and we are all tied at 20.
Yeah, great little run here from Jordan, the libero for the Princeton Tigers, with a wonderful service game, and some unforced errors by the Tornadoes have really allowed the Tigers to get back in here.
And she likes to move it around along that back line for where she serves. Left side, big drive, dugout Tigers. Set up, Wempner off the top of the block, back to the net, into the net, point Princeton, and they've come all the way back to take the lead.
You talked about it earlier, Jim, about how this is a game of runs, but momentum is absolutely contagious, right? When you start to see some stuff go your way, confidence starts to build, and there's a tough way to end that service game.
Yeah, Jordan there with just a miss hit, and that'll side it out here to Anoka. Ties us at 21 here in the second set. Anoka won the first one, 25-14. And back to serve is Ella Leaf. Jump serve, passed ahead, kept it alive. Christopher in the middle, Ruzek able to punch it over. Now it's Josie Brown over, free ball, and it missed. Down the near sideline, just out of bounds. Good call and read there by Princeton.
So now you need to get one more kill in here so that you can get more of your substitutions and your rotations in, and you see Princeton doing that with Wojtaszek coming back in, also bringing in looked like number 11 Slipey back in.
Yeah. Wojtaszek set to serve, critical points here, and she missed.
Boy, that's wanting to try to angle one in on that back line corner, not able to get it to sit there, kind of overhooked it. Something that you and I are probably both very familiar with.
Yeah, on the golf course. Josie Brown serves it. Set it up here for Slipey.
Oh, we talked about hitting it where they ain't, right, Jim? That's a great example of that. Just a nice little finesse ball, a little soft touch. Nobody sitting on that far side for the Tornadoes.
And Anoka using another one of their timeouts here, up by a set, but Princeton here 2 points away from evening this match up. Both teams after tonight's match, with just 2 matches left in the regular season. Anoka has Park Center and Champlin Park, and Princeton will have Cambridge Isanti in a conference match, and then Cloquet in a section match for section 7-3A.
You're right. We are right on top of that section competition here, right around the corner. And this would be big for Princeton, right? If you can come on the road and get a match win here tonight, boy, that would really build some momentum heading towards section play.
The Ruzek serve, 23-22 Princeton. To the far side, Tanner goes wide. And now it's set point Princeton.
Yeah, Tanner's a little out of her groove right now on that back line, or that front line on the backside, not able to get those last couple opportunities in play.
Ruzek set point, drops it low, comes over on one, saved by Ruzek, stays in play. Brown, then it's Brent. Back row is out, Princeton wins.
Wow.
Set 2 goes to the Tigers, and we're tied at set apiece.
From 1913, Princeton's trails, a great timeout from Coach Mary Patnode, and they're able to go on a run. They close on a 12-3 finish that takes the second set.
So we're all tied at 1, set 3, coming up on QCTV Sports.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead. Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Set one went to Anoka 25-14. Second set, Princeton down 19-13. And they outscore Anoka 12-3 to close that one out 25-22. That was impressive.
Yeah, it looked like Anoka was on its way. A carbon copy in set two. They got on a nice little run. And then it just was like Princeton caught them in a matchup that wasn't favorable for the Tornadoes. They didn't have the same size up front. I don't think Coach Fenwick will probably run that rotation out again, but Princeton took advantage of it, and they were able to go on a long service game from Brianna Jordan.
Shimmick to serve to start out the third set. Ruzick, left hand from that right side, and it's into the net. Down on the Princeton side, point Anoka.
We didn't see Hayden Reeder like the last 7, 8, 9 points out there,
or
Abby Leaf or anybody like that, and I can't imagine that was the plan going in.
Shimmick serve, steered to the middle by Christopher. It's up and over by Princeton. Left side, Tanner. Overhand pass, Slipey. They'll come right back to Slipey off the top of the block. Back row dig, Reeder, near side, right hand swing with power by Brent, and Princeton almost kept it alive off the Anoka fight song lyric banner. And good hustle there by Brianna Jordan. Been impressed by her, the libero for the Tigers.
Yeah, she's really provided a spark for them and given them a chance. Definitely probably the MVP of that second set.
Shimmick sets it to Wempner, comes over on one, free ball, back far side, left turn Tanner, and she will play games with that double block on the right side, just sneaking in between them and the net. 3-0 Anoka to start this one.
Carmen Shimmick, another person that we didn't see a lot of in that second set, now getting an opportunity to work that back line on serve and already getting the Tornadoes off to a good start.
Here she goes with that serve. Jordan, set by Christopher. Slipey, Anoka ready for it. Back set and out. Hit by Brent, just a bit long, and Princeton's on the board.
Yeah, Brent, I think, jumped a little bit too early there. Didn't get on top of that ball. Therefore, couldn't hit it with the velocity. Ended up just being a sailor.
Ruzick serve. Brent, set Shimmick in the middle. And Liram.
Good way to get a quick kill. You go bring Tanner on serve. Tornadoes want a fast start. I'm sure that second set put a bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to want to look to avenge that quickly.
Tanner, the back row, pushed ahead. Here's the set for Herman, and it's going to be out of bounds. Hit the antenna. Antenna is a wobbling.
Yeah, kind of a giveaway. It's nice to have that there.
Yeah, it's good to see that. Check the antenna, 5-1.
Everything works.
Here's Tanner again. Played ahead Wempner, and that's going to be outside the antenna and out of bounds. Hey, tonight I'd like to thank our on-site broadcast liaison, Roger Way, for helping us here tonight.
Yeah, we were having all kinds of issues here.
Yeah.
Just proof, even in retirement, he still has keys to the gym.
He might even be more useful. He might even be more useful now that he's in retirement.
You might be right. I mean, he's got a lot of time to plan for this now.
Always with the water for the broadcast. Got to keep the broadcasters hydrated. Probably that's understated. Not nearly enough discussed. This one is going to be off the net and off the antenna. The antenna's come into play here the last few times. So Anoka now up 7-1.
Trying to see if they can tune in a Chicago radio station off one of those things. Maybe not quite, but
well, you never know if it's AM. If it's at night,
yeah,
you can get some skip.
50,000 watt flamethrower.
Allie Tanner with the serve into the net. Now Princeton is out of sorts here. Discombobulated a bit, and it's 8-1 Anoka.
Surprised. I wonder if Coach Pat Node might take an early timeout here. Not yet. She's certainly not making the move for it yet. Just trying to work subs in. But Allie Tanner's been able to go on a nice little run.
And here comes Allie again. Back row, played by Watashik. And then over free ball to the back row. Anoka ready for it. Pass ahead Tanner. Here comes Reeder. Tipped a couple of times and lands down on the Princeton side.
And this rotation seems to make a good deal of sense for the Tornadoes. Getting Reeder up on the front line, giving her a chance to do some things. And they're taking advantage of it. A big sprint out here in the third set, up 9-1.
Princeton had all the momentum after the second set, and then Anoka has come out here hot, got up 3-0. Then it was 3-1. Now they've gone on a 6-0 run to make it 9-1.
And I think they realize now, and I'm sure Chris Fenwick has reiterated this in the timeout, is that no lead is safe here. You know, we looked like we were in total control of the second set, up 19-13, and all of a sudden we're trailing and we lose. So we can't allow that to happen in this third set.
Pumpkin Bowl this Friday?
Sure is. Got a kind of a beat-up Tornadoes football team that's already kind of young and growing as it is, trying to get a big win against White Bear Lake.
We'll have that for you here on QCTV Friday night from Goodrich Field. Allie Tanner's on a 6-point run here on the serve. Ruzick set, middle, tipped, and that'll end it right there. Nice job, Slipey. Good vision. Hit them where they ain't. Nice little directional tip. Side out here to Princeton, down 2-9.
Going to need a little more of that if you're the Tigers. Now you need to answer with a long service game of your own. Try to rattle off 3, 4, 5 and just stay in touch.
Here is that serve. Back row Gibson pass. Tipped over. And the Anoka player was in the net. Point Princeton.
Yeah, maybe a little overzealous. As they tried to hit that over, couldn't control their body.
Paige Blavitt now to serve. Sophomore, mentioned sophomore, junior, seniors making up this Princeton rotation. Back set for Leram, cross court, and it's into the Princeton bench.
There you go, a couple quick points on a couple of unforced errors from the Tornadoes, allowing Blavitt and the Tigers to kind of hang around here.
Tied at 1 set apiece. Shimmick in the middle and hammered by Logan Brent with authority.
And that's going to be the big key, right? If the Tornadoes can kill off points quickly, get back on serve and keep the 6-point lead, 7-point lead, just keep them at arm's length. That's going to bode well for the Tornadoes in this third set.
10-4 with Leram set to serve. Goes top spin. And the setter, Ruzick, was going to set that up. She ran into her own player to do like a one-hand set, and they were able to get it across. Ruzick again, back set far side, pushed over, tipped around. Herman gets it back, and the Tornadoes will reset. Shimmick, back row drive, blocked right back at him. Right in the middle, Allison Wepner got the block, ace block. Actually, that's 13. That's Melgren, the middle hitter.
Yeah, first time really calling her name, but you can see him providing a little bit of a spark at the net.
Slightby serving, using the cable on the net, and it just tumbles over.
Meant to do it.
They
I'm
always
convinced.
do, yeah.
I am convinced Slightby had every intention of doing that. 10-6. Princeton has done exactly what they needed to do. Just get back into this a little bit.
Slightby's drive, Tanner, near side, ace. Brent again, and she's hitting the ball with all kinds of gusto.
That ball had hair on it. That thing was hit so hard. I'm surprised she didn't deflate the ball.
Frecking into the match. Brent the serve. Here's the set. Wempner tipped off the block. It'll be a free ball. Over by Brent. Right side and not over.
Plenty of size. Plenty of size on the front line right now for the Tornadoes when they go Reeder, Frecking, and Leaf.
Yeah, and Princeton just can't match up with that. 12-6. Tornadoes. Brent serving. Slightby. Ruzick has to tip it over on the second hit. Towards the net, Brent. Down, back over on one. Scrambling Tanner to keep it alive. Tornadoes free ball it over. Ruzick sets in the middle and the kill.
Same thing, they go right back to Melgren, Marissa Melgren, the junior. She's made a couple big plays right in a row for this Princeton team. And again, allows them to stay in touch at 12-7.
Jump serve up and over Wempner. Set left side, drive Frecking, and it's a point. It was tipped. Princeton got a fingertip on it, made contact. 13-7 Tornadoes as they sub in Love.
Yeah, I think Slightby, I don't think wanted to touch it, but did get a forearm on that.
Here's the Samara Love serve from that middle. Jordan passes it up ahead, now to the near side. Ruzick with a left-hand drive. Love over left side. Tanner cross court, found the court just inside the line, and a kill.
That keeps Love on serve. Nice little point there from Anoka. Had to have it. Maybe wasn't pretty, but got what they needed.
Love floating that one over. Middle block.
Tried to go back to the well. Wasn't a great set as they tried to give an opportunity there for Wempner.
We don't have the heights though, but Wempner's giving up several inches in the middle if she's going up against Abby Leaf. And then Ruzick up over the block, overhand dig by Love to keep it alive. Then the left side, Tanner off the block. Tigers coming from the back row, Slightby to tip it over. Love will have to play it over. That's a free ball, and the Tigers can set it up. The set by Christopher, and then shoveled over, and Anoka's in the net.
I think they were going again to set up Melgren, and they have found a little spark with Marissa Melgren. We didn't really call her name much the first two sets, but here she is with a couple of big plays for the Tigers in set 3.
Jordan is serving here for the Tigers. She had a nice run last set. Sends us to the back row. Gibson, near side tip. Down to the knees. Ruzick to dig it out. Here's the near side. Wempner with a hit. And it's out of bounds.
So they quickly give back up the serve. And I think I don't know if they want Hayden Reeder serving or not. We'll see what they do here on the substitutions.
Ella Leaf has come back in.
That's who's getting the call.
Freshman Ella Leaf a chance to serve. She starts from way back beyond that basketball baseline. Sends it over, and it's an ace. Brianna Jordan, who's been pretty steady when it comes to serve receive, that one deflected and ricocheted off her arm.
Well, that's really, you don't see a lot of jump serving out of Anoka. You haven't seen it most of the year, but Ella Leaf provides this just different element.
She puts some oomph into it. Back and forth. 3 balls back and forth off of Princeton. It's out. Anoka ball, timeout, Tigers.
And here we are once again, a nice lead for Anoka late in the set, and a timeout from Coach Mary Patnode. And this has worked. At least it worked in set 2 for the Tigers, and certainly that's what she's going to try to do here, is just kind of re-jumpstart, refocus her team to try to counteract this jump serve. And again, this serves almost like a changeup for Anoka. You kind of do the standard serve all match long, and then all of a sudden you bring in this tall, young freshman that jump serves from way from the back line. And it's just providing something different to look at. Take a look at it. And I just got to think that you're not ready for that necessarily after you've been looking at something else the entire time.
Well, you look at Hayden Reeder and Ella Leaf, a couple of freshmen. Future looks bright.
I'm sure that's what's going to keep, maybe Chris Fenwick feels really young and says, you know what, I think I got like 10 more years in me.
Yeah. Start seeing some of that young talent. Ella Leaf will serve it again. She has her team to a 10-point lead, 18-8 following the timeout. This time she put a little side spin on it, and it curves out of bounds beyond that far sideline. That'll side it out here to the Tigers.
It didn't look like the cleanest contact from Ella that time. Maybe got a little bit too high a toss.
Wempner serving this time. Played by Gibson to the net, near side, drive by Frecking, and it's down. Great angle.
Yeah, I don't know if Maddie Frecking gets, maybe some of the attention, but this is another really talented young player for this Anoka team. Just a sophomore.
Carmen Shimmick. Anoka one away from getting to 20 here as Shimmick serves it to the back row. Wempner, back set, and it's blocked. Learham involved in that block.
Much cleaner set from this Tornado team. Less unforced errors, been a lot cleaner at the net.
Right now they're enjoying what I think is their, well, they won by 11 in that first set. So this, I think, matches their largest lead in this match. Now it's 21-19 as the Tigers fail to keep that one alive.
Yeah, it's been a good surge, and Carmen Shimmick now with her second really strong service game of this set, giving them a chance 4 points away from set number 3.
Shimmick. Set by Christopher, goes cross court here to Slipey, dug out, over on one, and then hammered in the middle. Paige Blavitt got a little gift there in the middle and sends it down. And that gets Princeton a serve here. They need a big run.
And they get Ruzick on serve, who will try to jump serve.
She's got the lefty. A little bit off the mark, but Tanner gets it to the middle, but not over by Quoquay. And Princeton back-to-back points.
Yeah, that one kind of ate up Arthur Line Quoquay that time as it spun on her forearm and not able to get it over.
Ruzek again. Nice low, and it happened again. That's back-to-back on the service. It goes over on the serve receive.
There's Paige Blavitt again, who again, a really talented sophomore here. Been very impressed with her tonight for Princeton.
She's been just eating it up at the net the last two. Here's Quoquay, dug out. Ruzick scrambles to try to get to it. It was Slipey trying to get to it after Ruzick could not handle that return. 22-12, side out here to Anoka.
That's a big kill for Anoka, because you get that point there and it's 21-13, and all of a sudden it's 4 straight points and a lot of confidence starting to go towards the Princeton Tigers again.
Tanner, Jordan, Ruzick, Herman. Anoka will set it up. Here comes Quoquay, and it's down. Jordan with the attempt, couldn't get it up, and Anoka now 2 away from taking a 2-1 lead.
They got who they want on serve with Tanner. And I jinxed her.
You did. Into the net.
I know better too. Or at
It's
least
a
I
tough
should
call.
know. Yeah,
It's a tough call. I mean, you like praising the players and giving them credit. 23-13. Princeton serve. Quoquay sends it across court to Reeder. She goes up high. And they'll try here with this. With Slipey. Then to the back row. Here comes a whistle, and Princeton's in the net.
And they get Herman for that one.
Now it is set point, 24-13. Anoka, they were up 9-1 in this one. Pretty much were in command from the beginning of this third set. Liram for the set. Jordan, Ruzick, tip, block, back to Ruzick, back to Jordan. Now Wempner from the 10-foot line to the back row. Liram keeps it alive, gets it to the net, but nothing Reeder could not get to it. And Princeton stays alive, still set point.
Yeah, 10 set points here for Anoka. You don't want to panic.
Again, the serve by Slipey, back set, then it's tipped, then blocked right back. This time Reeder through the block and down, and that'll give him the set. Hayden Reeder powering it through as that was 6. That was Abby Leaf, wasn't it, on the outside?
No, it was Reeder.
That was
this
Reeder.
Last one, and that was, you see, it wasn't even tailor-made or anything like that. She just had to stay with it and still tried to put enough juice on it to allow that thing to get over the net and get the big set for the Tornadoes.
Identical score to set 1, 25-14 Anoka. They're up 2-1 here on QCTV Sports.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Anoka leads 2-1 as we move on to set number 4, Wednesday night volleyball at Anoka High School, the field house here. Beautiful October evening, although it sounds like the weather's going to change. It's going to be a little bit cooler for the Pumpkin Bowl on Friday.
Yeah, you know what? That's all right. You wear a hoodie, you open up the window in the press box, and everything's lovely. That's if the window's open and the door's open in the press box, which is sometimes a bit of a 50-50 proposition over there at Goodrich.
I think that, you ask the players, people involved, they would prefer probably temperatures in the low 50s as compared to 70s or 80s.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of the football guys this week. I told them, hey, 48 degrees might be the kickoff temp, and they were like, well, that sounds just lovely. Let's do that.
Yeah. I would probably tend to agree with him.
Sounds like football weather.
As long as it's not snowing or sleeting.
Well, yeah, we've been fortunate. We have played a few of those in the last handful of years, especially late in the season like this. But this is about as early a Pumpkin Bowl as they've had here in quite a while. 2 road games to finish the year after this week for the Tornado football team.
The schedule didn't do them any favors as far as scheduling that Pumpkin Bowl, of course, but you got to make do with what you got. You got to dance with the girl that brung you. And here's a drive on the right side. Megan Kloss, a freshman, back in there and gets a kill. 1-0 Princeton to start out here, set 4, and they need a win.
Same message that we had for set number 2 for the Princeton Tigers. Try to get out early, get a couple quick points, make the Tornadoes come chase you.
Ruzick, jump serve. Here's Brent for the Tornadoes. Point Princeton.
That thing spun on the tape and wouldn't go over.
The old funny spin, tape, and of course that cable that runs through there too. Ruzick, jump serve, a little higher arc on this one. The set by Shimmick goes back set. Played over Tanner. Princeton able to set up and control it. Slipey, that slide step over in the middle. This to the back row, overhand pass. Jordan keeps it alive and reaching over the 2-hand dunk. Logan Brent to make sure it lands down.
But I think they're going to say over.
Yeah, they're going to say she was over the net. Originally, the signal was point Anoka. Now it goes to Princeton, and they're off to a 3-0 start.
This is exactly what Coach Murray Patnode wanted, and that's how you draw it up. Get out early, get on serve, get a lead, force the Tornadoes to chase.
Based on our angle, I thought that was a good call. I thought she was well over the net.
Logan Brent getting a clarification, can do that. She's one of the captains, so she wanted a little bit of an idea of what happened there.
Gabby Ruzick with a 3-point serve run here. Let's take a look at it again.
It was pretty close. And you can see her fingertips maybe right there on that angle over the top.
Ruzick serving. Set by Shimmick. Tipped over Lirum. Tigers go to Slipey. That one finds its way over. Brent, nice dig at the net. Tip back at him. Cleaned up at the net by Sadie Lirum. Oh, they're going to call her in the net.
Yeah, Sadie Lirum into the net. She hates it. And the Tornadoes, this is what you don't want if you're Anoka, though. You are young and you're susceptible to getting flustered. Allie Tanner does the right thing, tells everybody to settle down because people are getting a little worked up on that maroon side.
Ruzick again the serve from the back row. Reeder. And the dig attempt, unable to come up with it. And it will go out of bounds. Off of Larkin Addicks.
Oh, I don't know. And they say maybe over the top of the net, just again with the fingertips maybe with Sadie Lirum.
First point here. First serve for Anoka. Tanner delivers. Kloss goes up, over, not over. 4 hits.
That one hit the fingertips and nothing on that one.
Tanner to try it again. Down the near sideline, steered in the middle by Kloss, and it's Jordan, and it's Kloss. Down the sideline, dug out Shimmick. Here's the pass over on the left side, and Reeder finds the sideline. Her body said she was going cross court, and instead she swung across her body there, Tim, and hit it right along the line.
She's getting more and more confident, I swear, as the season went along. When I saw her early in the year, she just didn't seem this poised and savvy. And you can really see how she has grown as a varsity player, even just as this season has progressed. Great example of it right there.
Floss over free ball, back set. Here comes Anoka. Shimmick off the top of the net. And it's going to go and fall down. Princeton timing when it goes off the net like that just throws your coverage off completely. Point Anoka.
And now Anoka has strung 4 points together quickly to square this thing at 4.
And it's been Tanner on the serve. In the middle for Slipey, has to readjust. Keeping it alive, Reeder, and then to the net. Brent can't get it over.
Yeah, Gibson and Tanner miscommunication on who was going to play that on the back line. Gibson went for it, and it threw off the rotation. Everybody had to try to adjust. Not able to get that back over in a kill for the Tigers.
5-4 Tigers trying to win this set off of the net. Net cord and down. An ace. Nice use of the net by Larkin Addicks. No, excuse me, that's Paige Blavitt. Blavitt serving here. Addicks had come in. Called her name for the first time. She is still in there now at number 4. There's the serve, and that goes right between Addicks And her teammate on the back row, Blavitt, and it's in for a kill with some heavy heat.
And now they bring Watashik back in as well for Addicts. Again, a backline substitution there. And Arthur Line Quokwe will serve.
Quokwe kind of hiding behind Tanner. It's harder for the other team to see where that serve is going to go and where it's coming from as Princeton plays it long and out of bounds.
Tied at 6.
See kind of how they do that? Tanner standing in front of Quokwe, and she kind of comes out from behind her. Roll shot over Melgren. Anoka ready for it. Reeder drives it down. That made contact with the floor. Wonderful back row attempt by Watashik, but could not get underneath it. And Anoka's reclaimed the lead here, 7-6.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird service strategy here, because obviously serving middle of the floor, too.
Quokwe again. Jordan. Near side Melgren. Shimmick sets up beyond the end line. Brent sends it over, and Princeton can't get it to the net, can't get it set up for their hitter. Kloss on the right side attempted to keep it alive. Point Anoka.
Yeah, clearly it's throwing off Princeton's groove here a little bit. The ball's coming at them from an angle they're not ready for.
Quokwe again, and trying to pass that. Had to adjust overhand from an underhand to an overhand, and Jordan just could not complete that pass.
Yeah, just caught between the bump and the dig right there and not sure what to do, and ate her up.
Nice run here by Quokwe. Here's a set by Ruzick. Tipped over Princeton. Set Shimmick. Over Leaf. Ruzick set off the net, didn't make it over. Melgren that time tried to sweep it over with a little bit of a tip. And ends up being 4 hits, and Anoka has a 10-point lead.
Yeah, a little bit of a run here for Arthur Line Quokwe on serve, serving again from the middle.
Quokwe, one of the senior captains. Ruzick, back set, and then pushed over Slipey. Hayden Reeder, big boom, but it's dug out. It's amongst the lights. Steered back in by Kloss, and then Slipey, free ball over, could not make it.
Sustained run here in a long service game, and what started off as a hot start for the Tigers. They got up 4-0 quickly, now trail 11-6.
Lauren Blavitt in, Megan Kloss sitting down here for the Princeton Tigers out of the Mississippi 8 Conference. Quokwe again. A lot of serving here for her. Melgren hits it over. Good chance to set it up for Reeder. Down the line and in.
That started with a great athletic dig from Arthur Line Quokwe on the back, and that was able just to advance that forward. A great set for Reeder, and she was able to put that away.
12-6 now. Quokwe over the net. Set by Ruzick. Over with the tip, near side, Anoka. Bang, 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 Logan Brent.
And you can see what a steady Eddie Arthur Line is on the back line serving. And it's been a long service run, and Coach Patnode's got to take a timeout and rethink this.
13-6. Anoka trying to end this one in the 4th set. Still a lot of volleyball to be played, though, here in this 3rd set. Play up to 25 here. Take a look at the upcoming schedules here for the Anoka Tornadoes. We mentioned for both teams, Tim, just 2 matches after this one tonight for both clubs.
Yeah, gettable one for Park against Park Center coming up on the 11th, but then Champlin Park, obviously that'll be the really big test at the end for the Tornadoes. They're going to be looking forward to that one, I have to assume. That will be a really stiff challenge for this young Anoka team.
Both of those are at home for Anoka, so chance to come out and watch the Tornadoes play some volleyball.
Yeah, in Cambridge Isanti, and as you mentioned, at Cloquet to kind of wrap things up for the Princeton Tigers.
Princeton in Section 7 3A, Anoka in Section 7 4A. These teams used to be in the same section. In a lot of sports, really. But now that they've expanded classes, Princeton is typically in the class below the largest class in most of these sports other than football. That one's in the net. Another point here for Anoka.
And they are just going to be content to just play this game with Quokwe, just serving it nice and steady down to the back line at Watashik pretty much every time.
She has just been the epitome of consistency. Reeder a chance at it off the net. And finally, Princeton able to stop that long service run by Quokwe.
Yeah, that was a big one for Paige Blavitt at the net to knock that thing down. And now they put Slapey on serve.
And Slapey will deliver it and miss it long.
Yeah, that's what you can't afford to do when you're trailing. You can't just give up the serve that quickly, especially with an unforced error.
Junior captain Logan Brent to the back row. Slapey, high pass, Ruzick up and over Wempler. Tornadoes give it to Frecking. She drives it home.
And you see the difference in where Logan Brent served versus Quokwe. I mean, it's pretty much moving her way towards that right hand. Now she slides a little bit closer back to the center when she was a little more on that left-hand side before, or right-hand side, I should say.
Brent goes far side, off the rafter and down. That got up there quickly off of the arm of Lauren Blavitt.
Tornadoes sense it right now. You can feel it. Up 17-7 and all the momentum.
Another big serve. Played over by Slapey. Came back to him and then into the net on the Princeton side.
And again, you're not going to match up with Leaf and Frecking on that side, so you're trying to reroute it. But that requires a lot of skill to do that, and sometimes there's not an avenue for it.
Caitlin Herman comes in for Princeton. Brent.
Boy, what a serve
line
by
drive.
Brent.
She has served the last 2 or 3 have just been bullets, and that's another ace.
That was just right at Herman, and there's nothing she could do with that.
Brent again on a mission. And again, that one's going to be 10 rows up. Caitlin Herman.
Well, that's got the speed of a jump serve, but in a set, you know, just your regular set serve look. But that comes out with such velocity. And as you mentioned, Jim, it's just kind of a line drive, just barely clears the net.
Anoka has made it to 20. She goes right to Herman again. This time she steers it to the middle. Good recovery there over by Wempner. Tornadoes set it up near side. Josie Brown. Ruzick digs it out. Then it's Jordan. Then it's Wempner. To the back row. Tanner. Tip over Leaf. Princeton ready for it. They recover. Wempner then to the back row. Tried to beat him. Thought that maybe all the Tornadoes were sneaking towards the attack line, but it went long.
Now you got 21-7, 4 points away from the match, and what has been the Tornadoes' best game, really.
Brent just over the net. Slapey, Ruzick, roll shot over there, Herman. From the back row, and it's into the net, Abby Leaf, and Princeton gets a point in the serve.
That might have been actually Tanner, Allie Tanner and Quokwe. I think they got miscommunication right there because I think Arthurline called for it, but Tanner kind of jumped in instead and took it.
Left-hand serve for Christopher. Goes low. Played by Tanner to the middle, and Abby Leaf, a little hook shot. Drops it in for the side-out point.
You got the vibe that you were going to see the Abby Leaf dunk-a-thon right there, but instead she opts to go with a little bit of the change-up. Throws off Princeton.
Now Brown. Lefty serve, ace. Jordan off of her arm, it deflects long.
2 points from the match.
23-18. Brown again. This time curves one to Ruzick. They come back to Ruzick to the back row. It's Brown towards the scorer's table. They kept it alive. Great hustle, Tanner. Back to Princeton. Set up Ruzick. Here's her drive. Dug out. Quokwe. Back left side, Tanner. Sends one high. Roll shot tipped. And a point for Princeton. Nice tip right at the net.
Some great effort by Anoka, but a nice job by Princeton, continuing to move the ball around and force Anoka to scramble. Able to get the big point.
Melgren got the tip and the point. Side out, 23-19. Brianna Jordan set to serve. Quokwe Or excuse me, that was Brown. And then it's over, dug out. A couple of players going for it. Ends up over here to Anoka. Abby Leaf dug out nicely by Slipey, and it's down. Point Princeton.
And know that there's not a lot of margin for error here, but this is, remember, where Princeton made their best surge of the match was with Jordan on serve.
Here she is. Got a big mountain to climb here, down 23-10. Slapped over Tanner, and she found an opening. Good positioning there. Just saw an opening and threw it there.
That gets us to match point for the Tornadoes. Samara Love doing her best ML Carr impersonation, just leaping up and down the sidelines. That's an old reference. Nobody will get that, but that's okay. I like to drop one of those in every once in a while. I don't even know Jim got that one.
Who's ML Carr?
The great Boston Celtics sideline player, basically, who was always waving a towel.
That's right. Princeton gets a point. I knew it was basketball.
He was just always the guy on the Celtics waving towels on the sidelines. He was never in the game.
Remember that one time Larry Bird was waving a towel, too, when he was out?
Yeah, that was a pretty famous shot.
Yeah.
That might have been weird. ML Carr might have been in the game when that happened.
Been in the game.
That could have been weird.
Somebody else had to wave the towel.
Somebody had to.
Still match point. Princeton serving to the net. Brent did a nice job. They set up with a drive over Tanner. Long cross court here to Slipey, and it's off the arm of Brown.
Yeah, Josie again getting a little bit crossed up.
Still match point. Allison Wempner is the server here for the Tigers. Brown again. Brent sets up. Back here to Frecking to the back row, and Princeton can't track it down, and it's an Anoka win. They win the match 3-1.
Yeah, wonderful fourth set for the Tornadoes. After dropping that second set in kind of surprising fashion, I thought they rebounded nicely in set 3, and in this fourth set really took control of this young Princeton team.
Anoka wins at 25-14, 22-25, 25-14, and 25-12. So a good match here for Anoka. Princeton was competitive, especially in that second one. But when it came right down to it, Anoka just had too much strength at the net.
Yeah, the Tornadoes will pick up their 12th win of the season. And again, they're getting it done with that really young front line. A lot of size, a lot of talent. And they can, really spray the ball around to all sides of the court. They can use speed. They can hit it with some power. They've got a lot of different things going for them right now.
They go to 12-8. Meanwhile, Princeton on the season falls to 7-15, or the 3-1 Tornado victory. Upcoming broadcast schedule here on QCTV. We've mentioned a few times already. The Pumpkin Bowl on Friday.
Yep. That's going to be exciting. A little volleyball action as well back here next week as Champlin Park comes in to take on this young Anoka team. And then football for somebody. I don't know, is there you back out there for Monticello Andover? I'm not sure.
Not on Friday. I'm in Madison for St. Cloud hockey, but I know that I will be on the call for Cambridge Isani at Andover. So we'll have the Andover Husky football team, their final 2 regular season games, coming up on Friday the 14th, and of course the Wednesday night regular season finale on October 19th.
So you'll deal with a little bit of me in the next couple days, give it a little break, and then you get to deal with more Jim. How exciting is that?
I don't know. I think it's it keeps me on my toes, I'll tell you that.
It keeps you busy. I don't know how you sleep.
3-1. Anoka gets the win here tonight against the Princeton Tigers. Good luck to both teams the rest of the way. For everybody here tonight from the Anoka High School field house, everybody in the truck, good job here tonight. Tim, good working with you as well.
Always a pleasure to my friend Jim.
Yep. For Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson from the Anoka High School. Tornadoes get the win over Princeton here tonight. Good night, everybody.